You are a custard pie tart. Welcome, welcome. I've got my Pokemon bucket hat. We're going to be speaking about ICOSA and HEX. Very important, friends. A lot of people still don't get it. They don't get ratios. They don't get the leverage. They don't get anything. I don't get frustrated at that. I like that because there is a gap of knowledge, competitive information out there, and that is how I and you are going to crush it. I'm not saying that ICOSA is going to go up. It can go straight to zero tomorrow. It could be at zero right now. But I understand that a lot of people have missed out. I'm here to teach you and show you that there is a strategy you can do to get leverage without a forced liquidation point in a crypto bull market. If you have a core stack coin, you can rotate a bit of it. You can trim some off and throw out some lottery tickets around basically the big spear coin. And if your coin goes up and you're right, you'll be able to get leverage. You'll be able to, it's another way to make yield, okay? Leverage, higher returns, you get the point. So how much are we talking? Well, I don't know how anything can go in the next bull market, friends, because I could make a case for the stock market just literally being at the top right now and just going straight to freaking zero. You can make a case for that. But if HEX does a 10x from here, which is from 3 cents-ish to 30 cents combined. If that does a 10x and ICOSA HEX is a 7x away to the top, you're going to get 10 times 7. That's 70. And you might say to me, wait a minute, what if HEX does a 30x from here and it goes to 90 cents? Okay, now you're looking at a 210x. So you can play around with these numbers in your mind. It doesn't really matter. Leverage is leverage. Like, for example, with Bonk and Solana, you did not know how high Solana was going to go, but Bonk did 100x anyway. All right. Now, ICOSA, ICSA, when I did this, I have this cute peppy picture, friends. This is from Guts, the Guts comic. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to take on everybody else. Plus 20%, look at this cute peppy, fat peppy, the fat peppy sword. So when you see any of these, we always go back to the ICOSA HEX chart, which still not everyone truly understands what it means. It's literally like Ether BTC. This is ICOSA HEX. From today, right, from time of this video, if you go to the very top, the ceiling is now higher. It's like 6.6x each, all right? The good thing is it's flipped green on the weekly super trend. So ICOSA, it can't do well by itself. It needs HEX. It's an expansion pack on HEX. Now, why I am speaking about this is because time's running out. You see, I know, friends, I've spoken to a lot of you. A lot of you have fumbled your bags, or you've run out of money to add. So there is this opportunity for you. Now, once again, I'm not saying opportunity like, it's investment scheme or company. Look, sell your bags. I don't really care. I'm just telling you, this is as an investor coming in who's here to win the game, who's here to buy value and accumulate value. The way to think about these is as you traverse the market cycle, you are moving along the risk curve. So you can even draw it visually, friends. We can see it, right? As you move along. So at the this is early. This is like the beginning of the cycle, and this is the end. At the beginning, you've got your Bitcoin, and then you move to your ETH, and then we might move to like your Link and your HEX and stuff. And then you might move to even small caps, okay? Small cap coins. So just draw a little poop. And then I'll just draw just absolute abominations at the very, very end. They come at the very end, okay? This is where you have your things just absolute grifts coming where just no products are launched. It's just people high valuation raises, etc. You see, this is a risk curve. You're traveling along the risk curve. Now, clearly Bitcoin recovers first. Ethereum recovers next. The big chips, they start moving around, and then your poop coins start moving. This is the super exciting part, and then the absolute scams just come at the super, super, super end. But here's the actual fascinating part. Those scams that come at the end, they're not actual always scams. It's just that they've come at the tail end of the bull market, and you're running out of buyers. So now that you've run out of buyers, these things, they might gap up, but they just quickly drop because there's basically no one there anymore because you're inside of a club and there's a long line of people to get in. That's the beginning of the bull market. But at the end of the bull market, everybody's inside the club. So if you go outside, friends, to a popular nightclub, you look around at the end of the night, no one's outside waiting to get in. It just, there's bodies on the floor, there's vomit, there's girls in there like tutus, you know what I mean? There's like guys like lost their teeth from fights, all this stuff's around. Like you don't look like, that's not a place I want to be, okay? But it didn't start like that. It started like the cool place. So ICOSA, as we understand, it's a chance. Now, the time's running out, so it's not going to be here forever, but it's a chance where it makes sense if you fit the piece of the puzzle together. And I've got the thesis here for you. Now, it's not going to be a meme coin, friends, because trust me, I know there's a lot of moving parts here, but there's going to be people who smash it just buying the next meme coin. Like Dog with a Hat did 14,000x, okay? It's just that this is something that we can see now. So a big paper hand whale capitulated out of ICOSA. And the rest of the market is waking up. It's now a Bitcoin halvening year. ICOSA is leveraged on HEX. It hurt on the way down for 2 years, but we are past that point now. It is time to look forward. So when you see this chart, this is p-ICOSA. Okay, this is not where the ratio really started. The ratio was up here. Okay, that's where the real thing started here, and then it went all the way down. Now, this is the ratio, friends. So let's look at this. It means you dropped 90% worse than HEX. Ouch. You went really bad. And look how much, friends, it dropped to. If you want to see the price, like it was at $1.50 or something at the start, like $2. And if we go down here, look what it went down to. Oh my gosh, 2 cents. My gosh. So from 2 cents, from $2 down to, like if you include that plus the ICOSA, 3 cents. From $2 to 3 cents, friends. 0.03 divided by $2 is, wow, that's crazy. That's a minus 98%. Minus 98.5% drop. Okay. Starting from the bear market. Crushed. So from August, which was the crypto bear market, HEX was already down. So just to paint some context for you. So a lot of people, right, they've been asking me, how come you talking about this, whatever. I'm like, bro, it's, I don't want to use the term free money, but it's, you have to take this bet. You just have to. Timing. Okay, friends, you don't get this timing magically line up out of nowhere. Because, by the way, I made videos on ICOSA in 2023. I've been accumulating at higher prices. It's just that, like, wow, you're so cheap again. I got to add to the lottery tickets, okay? So this is HEX just live up here. This is to show you, paint you the picture. HEX was already down, and then ICOSA launches here. All right, look at that. Isn't that wild? Look at this. So ICOSA launches, you're down 86%. So your spear is down 86% already, and then you launch, and then the speed drops again with you, and you, from that launch, you drop 98%. That's how brutally low it is. Many people are still long. If you look at the average prices, like if you look at ICOSA, this is ICOSA USD, you know, it's around 14 cents. You're looking at here. Look, there are people, friends, look what the price was. Okay, I got the high here. Now, this is p-ICOSA versus e-ICOSA. So this is the appropriate price. So I've accounted for the split here. The real price was like $2. But what I've done is I put 2/3 into p-ICOSA, 1/3 into e-ICOSA, the Ethereum one. Look at this. Like you are down from a bear market launch 90% from the bear market launch. You can't be buying more blood than this. Like this is, friends, there has to be another term for this. There's no more blood left out of this bone. My gosh. Now, by the stroke of luck, right? Luck and being your friend Somi here notices the chart after looking at it, and Bitcoin halvening year is here. This is literally, I'm looking at it. It's Bitcoin halvening year, friends, right here. Okay. We're starting Bitcoin halvening year right now. And I just had this realization. I go, you know what? Alex, the founder of IcosaHedron, he has not made his update that was meant to be done because it's probably, software hard, takes time. And everyone says HEX is dead. So you have two FUD reason explanations for why the price is so low. But with another lens, and remember, I am wearing a Pokemon bucket hat, friends. Through another lens, it's enormous opportunity. It's a freaking underarm swing. You got everyone saying HEX will never go up, and you have Alex, who hasn't made the update yet. Like, wow, you have double brutality. Okay, you've been pulverized. So the swing, this is a beautiful part, and this is why this is such a good game. If you can win, you just gotta win once, man. Once, friends, just once. At this point, you're risking one, okay? But look what your upside is. This is, by the way, you don't have to look at this, okay? Because this is going to still a bear market price. But from down here, you're risking one. Your upside's 36x to the top of a bear market range. What's it going to do in the bull market? Okay, so here's the thing. This USD price, we know it doesn't tell us everything. So this is the price we want to look at. And this big, see this big volume node? A big whale capitulated, and I already made the video on him. So you can see, those are the most important parts, friends, because, you know, the story and stuff is cute, but these, putting picture together, the rest of the parts, it's cool to know, and it's fun, and it's your conviction to hold, but you can stop right here if you really wanted to. You're like, okay, sweet, that's it. Let's see what happens in the bull market, because people buy trash in bull market. Who cares? Okay, this is a super low market cap. It's thin. You know, Richard Hart thinks Alex is smart and stuff. He's like a good member of the community. Now, the real conviction to hold comes from this next part. This is like your meat and potatoes, and that is, I'm going to play some angel music as well while you eat your nice, gentle meat and potatoes, friends. You see, the HEX yield that you get drops every single day because the T-share rate's going up. So every day, okay, it's like its own Bitcoin halving. Just like the Bitcoin yield used to be 100% and then it dropped. So you can see the charts here, right? See Bitcoin's inflation rate, friends. Look, Bitcoin started at 100% and then it was like 40% yield and then like 12% yield. Now it's like real low. So even Bitcoin's yield has dropped down. So if Bitcoin's yield goes down over time, so does HEX's. Richard Hart, smart. He looked at the models that work. That's what everybody does, by the way. Everyone does this. Okay, that's why these people are pioneers and the project leaders, and you and I were just literally peanut brains running around, okay? Now, the yield for HEX drops over time. And there are people who in the system, they're used to the amount of yield they're getting. So what's going to happen is over time, people are faced with a decision. So there are people, they might do these 30-day stakes, okay? Just to let you know, let's make it simple. There are people who do rolling 7-day stakes, rolling 7 days. You miss a day of staking there, okay? You literally miss a day because on the day it ends, you have to restake on the next day. So think about this. Let's say you had a large amount of HEX, 100 million HEX, whatever it is, and the price is up in the future, and you're making like every week, you're getting $3,000 per week, all right? Now, your $3,000 per week, what happens if your yield drops now that you're only getting 2,500 per week, all right? You're doing a 7-day stake. You're like, wait a minute. I'm doing a 7-day stake. I'm missing 15% extra money for the week because you missed that day. Because you're doing a 7-day stake, one of them is removed. And so what these people will start doing is they go, wait a minute. If I do a 14-day stake, I'll get back the money I need. Now I can get $6,000 over the 2 weeks or whatever instead of getting, $5,000, right? Because no one wants to make less money over time. Now, if you just keep compounding that forward, what ends up happening, because the HEX yield, inflation is still going down. It's like, I don't know what it is right now. It used to be like 15% short term. Then remember, you get 40% if you stake the full 10 years. So it goes up over time. It goes up, 15, 20, 25, 30, the longer you stake. So the yield on that goes down. It used to be like 15, 10, was it like 9.2? Maybe it's like 8.2 now, 8.5. It's going to keep ticking down. And eventually, really, it's going to go down to like, 5, 4. This is over the time in the future. Now, as it keeps going down, all those people who now have an inflation lifestyle of it, living off the yield, they now need to stake longer and longer. And when they stake longer and longer, there's a risk. All right, there's a risk that you and your wallet get compromised. There's a risk there. And IcosaHedron, the platform, has a nice smart contract encapsulation stake for you. So on the website, friends, you just go to app.icosa.pro, you click on the HEX button here, and you click on the create stake. So what it will do is you can make your encapsulated NFT stake. It's the exact same thing, right? It's just that now you have an NFT version of your stake and you can send it to another wallet. So think about new people coming in who stake for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Even you have your own family members coming in. I think it is irresponsible when you have something like this available. I think it's irresponsible to tell people just to stake to the website long term now, because why take that risk when you don't have to? Because, you know, friends, what happened in 2021, there were big accounts of people who got hacked. Their accounts got compromised, and the scum would start emergency end staking all of their stakes. They would just start emergency end staking it, right? So it's very unfortunate. Now, imagine you had NFTs of this. If you had NFTs of that, as soon as you know you've been compromised, you can start sending your NFTs to your own wallet. Now, here's the thing. You might say, well, the hackers can do that too. Yes, it's true. It's just that no one knows about this as much. Okay, it's still hidden under the radar, right? Obviously, in the future, there's going to be more problems. There's also, what you can do is you can use it with Matty Allen's Time Pays Me. I forgot if he did this on stage, but if he did this on stream, but I think you can do that. You can put a password attached to it, and then you're able to, even if someone has your key, they can't steal your contract. There's an emergency thing. I forgot exactly how it worked, but that's the safest thing of all now. Imagine you could lock your NFT of your stake in something, and now even if someone has your key, they can't unlock it from Time Pays Me. They still can't do that. Okay, so see, these things are being fleshed out over time, and the fact that they're really new and they're like innovative right now, they're like cool ideas, and they haven't been established, that means you and I are early, like really early. Okay, so this is just one of the benefits that IcosaHedron lets you do. So one of the other things that you shouldn't do but is available, if you have an NFT of your stake, you can put it on the auction. So if you think HEX is too high in, like, I don't know, 15 months, but your stake goes for 5 years, you could put it on the auction to try sell it, and people like pay for it, right? So that's another optionality it gives for you. You'll also find over time, projects like this, they incentivize long-term staking because you get to mint Hedron for free. You get to claim your Hedron and stuff over time. So these are just the beautiful things that keep like evolving out of the system. So that brings us back all the way to this ICOSA HEX chart. See, a lot of people, this chart's still cheap, friends. I have this box here drawn for you. I've got like basically maybe this is just what I'll be doing. This is me, right? Keep accumulating ICOSA as long as ICOSA HEX is under 10. Because if, let's say you are buying 11. Let's make it actually hard. You're buying 11 here. You're buying a ratio of 11 and you're bullish on HEX. If this ratio goes back to 40, all right, 40 one day, you've made 3.6 times whatever HEX went up. So if HEX went up 10x, you went up 30x, 36x because of this ratio, right? But here's the thing, of course, there's risks there. You're asking, why doesn't everybody buy it? Well, as I've explained, you need Alex to fulfill the final piece of the puzzle and have demand there for ICOSA, okay? Because the IcosaHedron, the upgrade's coming, and they're doing like a version of cross-chain staking. It's called like a Unity project, and there'll probably be more things added on over time. So remember, these are it's guessing, and it's maybe a roadmap, and maybe no expectations and all these. But yeah, I know it's funny. It's not perfect, but it's what you want. It's what you want. It means there's more unknowns. It means as these things get satisfied, people pay higher and higher premium prices. So this is available for you if you. A lot of people have fumbled their HEX bag. This is something you could do. Now, you just be super careful of this, but I know there are people out there. Look, I know people out there that had 1 million HEX. They're down to like 400,000. Okay, they're down to 400,000, and I know what they're thinking. They're going to go gamble because they want to make that 1 million HEX back. Now, even though I've said don't do it, I know they're going to do it. What I've done is I've just shown you how you can make HEX returns more than staking if your dream of HEX pumping is satisfied. There's a higher probability of this. This is one example of that. So obviously, don't ever do all of this, but I'm just showing you, friends. If you had 400,000 HEX, for example, remember that guy had 1 million? If he had 400,000 HEX and he converted it all into ICOSA here, he will have 1.2 million HEX back here. Look at this, from here just to here at this point. This is a 3x. He'll literally have, see, because he's made, look at this, he's made a 200%, which is a 3x. He's made 300x, 300% on his HEX. And by the way, you are less than half of the ceiling. You're not even at the ceiling. You might say to me, well, what if you held to the ceiling? You will have 2.5 million. Remember, he had 1 million, went down to 400,000. So this is an alternative. Another way to play it, you might say, hey, do half and half. That's another way to think about it. Because if you do half and half, your 200,000 up here gets you 1 million right at this price. That's 400%. All right. So you don't actually need that. I think you only need a 300% because you still have your existing ones here around here. So you need this zone here, these ratios. So effectively what I've helped you do is be a more intelligent speculator. You're looking for a leverage play because you go, well, the world I'm looking for is that PulseChain recovers and HEX pumps to the moon and the HEX community gets bigger and more people do staking, which means they're going to be like needing to stake more, and there's probably going to be NFT auction markets, like this is IcosaHedron, and there's going to be Alex updates. You're trying to just be early to everyone else, and hopefully this plays out in 2024, 5, 6, or however long it takes. Okay, so I've shown this for you. It's a tool. It's a tool. Please be careful. Just because I know, friends, 2024, I'm already seeing people in their wallets, they're ruining themselves. They're doing like real leverage, getting crushed and doing that. So this is, out of all the dangerous snake pitfalls, this is like, okay, this is the way to go. Out of everything else, if you have to gamble, obviously the best place to be, if you didn't gamble, you just leave them, don't touch them, because this game, you don't feel like a very, very nice person if this thing goes lower, because this thing doesn't have to go down. It can go up, it can go back down to the lows. This is just another reality, right? Even though it's like super, super, super low, look, it can come back down here. Friends, if it comes back down here, you've lost 66% of your HEX. So that person, he got wrecked here. That's why this big sell candle was here, is because it started coming back and he just got out. Okay, so these are the things with ratios, but you saw it with the EHEX and PHEX, right? There was just a big fat snap up after all that time down. Is it going to repeat? I don't know. I've got a Pokemon bucket hat on. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.